Hello everyone. Today I have a Cherry G84 keyboard. This is an ML switch keyboard, different from Cherry MX. It's a shorter distance travel and it's very cheap. This keyboard cost $15 to my door. Granted, it was a used keyboard, but the particular company I bought it from had a nice plastic cover over the keys, and I don't think it had ever been typed on finger to actual keycap. It had the plastic covering on, I'm assuming, for most of its life, but it came right off. I wanted to make this video because a lot of people kind of don't like the Cherry ML keyboards. I think a lot of reviews kind of talk about how not great it is and how it's just not as good as Cherry MX. But, you know, the cheapest Cherry MX keyboard you can get is around probably $60, brand new. Granted, this is used. I'm not sure what a Cherry used board could go for. I mean, it depends on who you're buying it from. But for $15, this is a pretty nice keyboard. It's significantly better than any rubber dome keyboard I've ever used. Now, a lot of things people knock on this keyboard for is the layout. And I'll be honest, the layout is pretty weird. They really smashed everything into this keyboard to get as much functionality out of it as possible. And they almost got it perfectly right in my head. A full arrow key row, very important. You know, they have the tilde key is down here. You know, I don't use it a lot, so specifically for me, it's not that big of a deal. If you're someone who uses a lot of tildes, then, you know, sure, it's going to be a pain in the ass. The number one thing for me that got me was this backspace key. Not the fact that it's a single unit, but the fact that it's right next to home row, and it's one in. So in your mind, even if you have a single unit backspace, usually there's emptiness over here. So you go all the way over as far as you can and then hit that key. But the fact that it's home here means that instead of deleting something, you end up going all the way forward to your first row and then not getting anywhere. Then you can't even hit backspace. You have to go back to the end of the row to hit backspace. That was a big deal for me. However, I was able to clean that up with some software called Sharp Keys. I turned this home key into another backspace key. I don't use the home and end key and page up and page down, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. And you could make this key pause break or something, and it wouldn't really do anything. And then make this home and switch them. So you could do that, and you know, change the keyboard around a little bit. But the main point of this video is I want to show what the sound is like when you lubricate all the switches. A lot of people, I don't think, do that, and they kind of, you go, oh, it's too scratchy, it's just not like an MX, and they throw it out, and they're like, that's no good. If you take the time and go through and loop up all these switches, you know, I've used a Topra board before, and they called it a poor man's Topra. It doesn't really feel like that to me. It feels more of a really, really, really quiet brown, a short throw brown almost. And I'm not the biggest fan of browns either. I prefer a clear switch like that. But they feel pretty good. It's unlike anything. It's difficult to compare it to any other switch because it isn't. It's a completely different switch. So what I'm going to do is put this little microphone, I'm going to hang it on that keycap puller, and you're going to get a quick little sound demonstration. Thanks so much. Okay, so my original test didn't turn out so well. I originally had something balancing on this keycap puller, but it kind of rattled a little bit when typing, and I wanted to get as clean of a sound as possible so you can really tell the difference between this and maybe the unlubed switches. So here we go, Cherry ML lubed keyboard.